Good evening, everybody. Please hold on. Let's try and sort something here. So, good, everybody, this evening. I hope you are all well. I hope you can hear the song in my background. This is a special dedication for the people of Africa, the people of Zimbabwe, the people of Namibia, the people of Mozambique, Nigerians, Rwandians, Angolians, Ghanaians, people from Lesotho, people from Swaziland, people from Mozambique, people of South Africa. I hope you can hear this. We are one Africa. And stop killing. Stop killing each other, brothers and sisters. You are one people. We are one people. You know, we have had our different battles. We have all our different problems. There is no point for us killing each other. You know, when I was growing to a small kid, we used to sing Nkosi Sikelel' Africa. Mwari komborerai Africa. What are we doing? What are we doing? We Africans. You know, like burning somebody alive, beating somebody. You know, like, what are we doing? Leaders of African countries, where are you? Watching and saying, yes, on the one side, people are dying, people are killing each other. And on the other side, there's this Porsche World Economic Forum happening. What the hell is going on? Tapindwane, what's going in our heads? And we are busy toasting this is Nigerian, this is South African. What are we doing? Siyenzani? You know, sihlezi sonke, we are down at the bottom of the line. People are at the bottom of the economic chain. We are the ones who are busy butchering each other. What is happening to us Africans? What are we doing? Siyenzani? You know, I came today with a different topic altogether. I was going to talk about communication. That was my topic for today. Just thinking, what has happened to us Africans? There was a time when we knew we had brothers. There was a time when we knew we had neighbors. We used to help each other. We used to stand with each other. But the brutality, you know, the readiness to kill, the readiness to chop somebody's head off. You know, just like that. As if we are chopping flies. What are we doing? Educated and educated. We are all people. How many South Africans are here overseas, are even in the other countries? How many Nigerians are in different countries? How many Zimbabweans are everywhere else? What has gone into us Africans? Why do we hate each other so much? You know what? My heart is so. There was a time when I was so proud to be an African. But today my heart is so heavy. My heart is so heavy, dear Africans. Like, it's high time we become civilized. You know, there are other ways of dealing with our problems. And this is definitely not one of the problems. This is not definitely one of the ways. There is so much that has been going on. At one point, South Africans were in Zimbabwe. At one point, Angolans were in Zimbabwe. At one time, we have been in each other's countries. For one reason or the other, we were all seeking refuge. At one point or the other, we were all trying to find greener pastures. At one time or the other, we were trying to find where we can say we have peace. So what has gone into us? You know, this evening, my thoughts is with the African families that are crying at the moment. Those who have lost their loved ones in the name of we are setting ourselves free. In the name of, we are taking what belongs to us. Must say I am at the moment really ashamed to be an African. I am really sad. You know, when we used to say Nkosi Sikeleni Africa, what were we saying? When we used to say, my brother, my feet is hurting when the brother was carrying you. Brother, I am in trouble here. We are suffering. We were helping each other. What happened? That today, we just wake up and think, okay, problems are there everywhere. But today we are prepared to take a knife and cut the head off just because, like, I am not happy to see your nose here. We are all bitter. We are all angry. There is poverty, stinking poverty in Africa. But why kill each other? Why directing our anger in the wrong places? You are killing another African who is struggling like you. Why not address the proper problem, the real source of the problem, and deal with that? And the African leaders, you know what? I am so disappointed in you. Where are you? Where are you? Sitting there, negotiating deals here, negotiating, letting people die. Looting was never a solution. Demonstrations are good. People go to demonstrate because they are frustrated. They are going to show that they are not happy. But looting and destroying property is never the part of the occasion, part of the equation. You want to fight? Yes, go ahead, fight. But do you have to destroy properties? Do you have to destroy lives? African people, do we have so much hatred for each other? My problem with us Africans, we can start blaming, yes, somebody came and taught us to hate each other. But my problem with us Africans is that we forgot who we are. We are claiming that, we have become so educated and so sophisticated. But no, we are still far, a long way. We are still a long way. We have to discover who we are. We have to start loving each other. We have to start loving ourselves. When we do that, then only then will we be able to fight for what is right for us. Only then will we be able to build Africa, one of the most rich continents in the world and the most poor continent. Why? We're busy chasing putting all the energies and the resources we have into building the Africa that we call home. And what makes me so sad that you every year we have people, African people, sinking in the rivers, sinking in the oceans, in the name of we are going to find better lives out there. And you know what? Some of them do manage to come over here or wherever they go to say to look for better lives, only to die there because the situations there are even worse than what they left home. Some of them, they are trapped over here. I have been around here for many years, but I know so many people who are stranded where they are. They would wish to go back home. Home being Africa, where they came from. Because the chances, the lives here is not as easy as everybody takes. There's nothing like that. It's hard work here. It's hard lives here. Yet we have in Africa a home, a continent, a whole continent with 50. I don't know how many countries we now have. Yes, we can blame that South Africa was strategically chopped into pieces. And those who chopped it, they did a good job. Look what is happening. We can still continue blaming that, yes, they chopped Africa. Yes, they did, for a reason. Divide and rule. And it's still working. And you know why? Because we Africans are too foolish to continue supporting the system that is stopping us. A system that is continuously suppressing us. System. The best we can do is kill each other. And then we turn around and say, yes, they are causing this, whoever is causing this. The most foolish person is the one who's taking the weapon, venting your frustration at your neighbor, who is also starving like you. What has gone into us Africans? Blame the world. That's what we do. Blame the whites. That's what we do. But are the ones that are carrying the weapons and chopping each other? Are they the ones who are pouring oils on people and burning them, setting alight? Are they the ones? They give you weapons. Okay. Do you have to accept the weapons? Whoever divided and however they divided, they didn't divide so that things will go well. They had a reason, maximum profit. And you know what? Maximum profit they have. With our help, of course. We are the ones who are making this system continue to live. Our leaders, where are you? You know, you got voted into positions. If you are not voted, you took these positions because you wanted to be leaders. Is this the best you can do? Is really the best you can do, African leaders? You can go into your beds and sleep and say Africa is fine. You are leaders, you are presidents, you are ministers. You go home and sleep and say life is fine, you are okay. Africa, let's change our minds, let's change our hearts, let's wake up, let's stand on our feet and fight for what is right, but let's fight in the proper way. And this doesn't include butchering each other. You know, the videos that have been going around, the email, the messages that are going around, it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, some around their old videos. But you know what? Old video, new video, the brutality is the same. Brother killing brother, sister killing sister. Whatever reason we have in the back of our heart to justify that beating that we are doing is still brutal. It's still horrific. And then for those who have lived overseas, those who have lived in some countries here in Europe, you will know what I mean. When they call us monkeys, when they call us apes, when they call us barbarics, and then we wonder where it's coming from. When they give our children hell, and then we wonder where it's coming from. Ishekomborera Africa. No Africa. Is this the Africa that we have? Is this what happened to Ubuntu? Do we remember what that word means? Ubuntu. Who knew? Do we remember what that word means? Because I don't like you. Somebody has taught me to say you are not my neighbor. Now I don't like you. Where are we going? How are we going to look at each other? We have intermarried. We have families we have family interlinked, intermarried, whatever we want to call each other. So what today, because South Africans are banning other people and other people are banning the South Africans as well, how are we going to look at each other? I have a nephew whose mother is South African. So but now I'm going to talk my nephew because he's part South African, part Zimbabwean. I don't like the mother because she's South African, I'm Zimbabwean. What rubbish is that? Africans, wake up. You have so much energy. And you know what? Use that energy to be constructive. Use that energy to make something useful. What are we doing? Some of us are even carrying that hatred that we came with from home, overseas here. What are we doing? I said today I was going to talk about communication and say, Africans, what are we doing? Why are we killing each other like this? Let's take a moment and think. Let's take a moment and think. What are we doing? Let's take a moment and think of the families who have lost their beloved ones in the name of we are taking back what belongs to us. These are lives we are talking about. What are we doing? We can blame the whites for owning everything. Yes, we can go ahead and blame them. But you know what, African brothers and sisters, it won't solve our problems. This blame game doesn't help anybody. It's so sad that we are killing each other. Let's just sit down and think. Let's just take a moment and think. Yes, who has the money has the power. Yeah, who has the money has the power. Who has the money controls what is happening. Okay, we said the Europeans, they came, they took Africa and they did slavery and all that. When they were doing slavery, our own brothers were doing the catching and selling. African against African brother, African sister against African sister. Okay, now we are saying, like, fast forward, I don't know how many years later, what are we doing? Are we not doing the same thing? Yes, we said we test them out. Every African country is independent now. Okay, it's true. But you know what? We allowed the system to continue in the hands of the same people. Right. They still controlled all the world. And look at this, what happens. The moment the local people start saying to their governments, no, we are asking questions, things are not right. That's the only time our leaders remember that there's the white man who's controlling everything. That's the only time that they remember, they forget that them, the leaders and the the white leaders, the white men, they're eating together. You know what? How many African leaders do we know who are hiding African monies that they've taken from their own countries in European countries? How many do we know? Talking of Zimbabwe, that I can give you facts with. Where have you ever seen that 20 million US dollars just disappear without a trace? And then we cry that, a few white men is taking the money out. What rubbish. We Africans ourselves, Let's take the blame for once. Let's stand there and say, yes, we are wrong because we know we are messing big time. We are messing it up. Let's stop this blaming them. They do have the wealth. If they are too clever to keep this and we maintain the systems that are abusing us, who is to blame for that? We have said African countries have taken back their countries. They are leaders of their own countries, right? And we have organizations that are supposed to be taking care of African affairs, right? Where are these? Where are these? Where are these organizations? There is such a massacre happening, and where are the leaders? Only 1 year, one day say something, and the rest of them they are eager to go into this conference where then the forum where they are going to be talking millions and billions and selling their own countries. You know, African people, let's wake up, let's stand up, let's rise. Arise, Africans. The Nigerians say, shine your eyes. Let's shine our eyes and stop this blame game. You know what? Each and every one of us Africans, born African, doesn't matter what status you are carrying now here overseas. You can have whatever status, I don't care. You know what I'm talking about. You who has a home where you came from, make sure you get involved in the politics of your own country. Let's stop leaving our countries for people who are abusing the situation, people who are profiting for this situation, and all we can do is cry. How many of us who are overseas here, who have families in South Africa, who are sitting at the edges of their beds, thinking, if my people are fine, if my people have something to eat, if my people are all right, how many of us and our leaders are hosting an international forum? Let's take accountability. Yes, Belinda, let's take the accountability to say it is our country. Each and every one of us, we Africans, like I said, I don't care where you are. I don't care where you came from. As long as you were born African, you have a duty to change the system. Your own, if you don't care about yourself because you've made it wherever you are in diaspora, I don't care. But remember, you have a duty to your own children for the future generations. Let's stand up. You know what? I don't care also what political party in your own country you are going to get involved with. Bottom line is you get involved. It cannot go on that, this is happening. This is not the first time people are being scorched in South Africa because of this hate crime. It's hate crime. This is not the first time. And it has always happens like, oh, we are so sorry, we are sympathizing, and our hearts are with the ones who are bereaving. They have lost their families. A few weeks, few months, few years later, the same thing happens again. And there we are. Oh, we are so sorry. What are we doing? Tirukuite isienzani. If I could say it in French, I would just say it in French as well. To say, Africans, what are we doing? Thank you, Belinda. Belinda is saying corruption is the evil of Africa. Tackling it will solve many social economic problems. Very true. But it means us as well getting involved. Because you know what? We are all sitting and saying, well, it won't change anything. Let them do whatever they are doing. When they get tired, they will change. Why should our governments change the systems that are benefiting them? If we are saying we are blaming the white former colonial governments that are still have their hands on Africa, like dangling like that, why should they get out and leave their bread behind them? Why should they give up? Why? Why should they give up? Honestly, if they are profiting from the situation as it is, why should they leave? If we are so foolish ourselves to help maintain that system, you know, we are busy killing each other. We at the bottom of the chain. Like we are fighting for busy fighting for crumbs at the bottom of our tables. If we are saying the systems in this world, the systems running Africa, controlling Africa, they are all foreign systems. Why don't we gang up as Africans and kick those systems out? Okay, we all don't have the US dollars. It can be complicated than my way of thinking. Why not chuck the US dollars out? Nigerian has got oil, Zimbabwe's got diamond, Botswana's got diamond. Why don't we do barter trade? At least we understand each other. Why don't we form our own currency and say, okay, we are taking lives back so that this killing of each other stops, this jealousy among each other stops. What are we doing, Africans? We have run away all the way from Africa Day to come over here. We are working like donkeys just to make ends meet, just to manage to pay bills. Some of us are doing 3 jobs here overseas just to make ends meet, just to pay our bills. We have nothing back home where we left. What are we doing? What are we doing? What legacy are we leaving for our children? Okay, you know what I mean? Why we can be calling names. If they let's just think of it, all of us. Take a moment to think. If you are sitting in a bag of sugar, you are comfortable where we are. Are we going to just freely give that away? We have educated people. Africa has got most educated people at all levels. We have people who have done international law. We have people who are working in the courts here in Europe. They should understand the laws better. Okay, I didn't do law, but my normal thinking tells me if we sit together, we Africans, we unite as one. Hello, Nandi, greetings. We unite as one. We can solve our own problems, our African way, minus the hatred, minus the guns, minus the, like those big knives that I was seeing. Normally, we use those knives to chop sugar cane in Zimbabwe. And those knives are being used to chop people's heads. And we say we are civilized Africans. What rubbish? What are we doing? What are we doing, Africans? Belinda says the former white regime built Southern Africa's economy. Now look at Zimbabwe. Now took the farm. Look at Zimbabwe. Now we took the farms without strategies. The idea to say we need the land back for the Africans, the idea was good, but the way it was done was rubbish as well. And where is Zimbabwe today? Where is Zimbabwe today? A country that was former a breadbasket. We can't even feed ourselves. But you know what? While we can't feed ourselves, we have tons and tons of platinum that are being mined in Zimbabwe. We have diamonds that are being mined in Zimbabwe. There are power cuts. There is no normal education for you and me. Those who can, they take their children to South Africa for education. They send their children overseas. Those who can, they come to Europe to give birth to their bouncing baby boys and girls. Those who can, they come overseas, even go as far as China and Malaysia to go and get treatment. What are we doing, Africans? What rubbish are we doing? Pardon me for using hard words today. My heart is heavy. Like I said, normally I'm so proud to be an African, but today I'm not. Yesterday I was not proud of being an African. And on the first of September, I was not proud to be an African. I was so ashamed. What do I tell my child? I have a child who always say, Mommy, I am Zimbabwean. I am African. What do I tell my child? I am German, Mommy. What do I tell this child? What is African? How do I show my child the pictures that are the gruesome pictures that are all over the world? The world is watching. We are busy killing each other. And we are also hosting a prestigious World Economic Forum. And the world is watching. What are we doing, my African people? Our leaders, where are you? The police is not there to kill its civilians. The police is there to maintain law and order. What are we doing? You know what? If we are leaders, we don't want to do the work, let's leave the offices. If we, the leaders, have run out of ideas, we don't know what to do with the power that we have taken, let's get out of the offices. If we African leaders are so ignorant and we don't know what to do with the power that we have, let's get out of those offices. Let's resign. We are not playing with dolls here. We are playing with people's lives. We are playing with. What are we doing? Putting on our nice suits, putting on our nails, carrying on like looking like the madams and the gentlemen at the expense of our people, and we call that politics. Position that we have claimed, please get out of those offices and let people who are competent go in. And my challenge to every African who will ever hear this, stop sitting on your bum and say they are leading. Stop telling yourself that nothing will change. As long as you sit on your head, nothing will change. Wake up, Africans. Stand up. Stand up, Africans, and go and fight a civilized fight. Go and take back what belongs to you. And that doesn't belong killing your own people. It doesn't mean killing anybody. It doesn't mean killing anybody. If it means reversing those wars, reversing those economically, whatever they did, then go ahead and reverse them. If it means reversing those borders that were done, reverse those borders. You African leaders, you've got a mandate. You don't know what to do with those offices. Get out of the offices. Resign today. If you don't know what to do, get out of the offices. You know, being a leader comes with responsibilities. You are not just responsible of your own life. If your own life doesn't matter to you, know that you have the lives of other people in your hands. That's what leadership is. Leadership means putting your life down for the lives of the others, the people that you say you are leading. Being a leader means being a servant. When you campaigned for those offices, you said we will be doing this, we will protect you. Is this the protection? You are busy sitting in your homes, watching African children on African soil kill each other. And you call yourself presidents. You call yourself leaders. You call yourselves whatever you want to call yourself. And the biggest blame on you African children. Busy taking the knives, busy taking the machetes to go and slaughter your own brothers. So these people who once colonized us, they give us guns, and the best we can do is go shoot each other. I'm not forgetting the Zimbabweans, especially for you guys, Zimbabweans. We have the same situation. The Ndebeles don't like the Zimbabweans don't like the Shonas don't like the Zimbabwe, the Shonas don't like the Ndebeles, the Ndebeles don't like the. Yes, mistakes happened, people died. Do we have to teach our children the same thing? That same hatred, do we have to teach them? What are we doing? If you witnessed death If you experienced losing your own people, if you saw it happening with your own eyes, you witnessed that pain, you witnessed that horror, why are you teaching your children that same hate? And you claim you love your children. You give them such a burden. You give children such a burden. And then you claim to love the children. What are we doing? Have you ever heard of something that is called inherited hate? Your children, our children, they learn what we teach them. They learn the examples of what we experience, what we have taught them. They will go out and multiply that because we are teaching them. And you know what? That's exactly what we are teaching our children. Zimbabweans are now hating South Africans. The Nigerians are banning this proper. Listen to this. The Nigerians are now banning properties in Nigeria. And you're saying the South Africans should go home where they came from. Those buildings, they are on your own soil that you are destroying. It's your business. Of course, you will say the South Africans out, but where are we going? These are just examples. The truck drivers are beating each other as well. Just to name a few. They are carrying food from one country to the other. They are carrying commodities from one country to the other. These are just people doing their job, trying to keep their families. And what are we doing? We Africans, I understand that there is more going on. I'm not that ignorant. But I'm saying is let's take accountability. Let's search our souls and say, what does an African mean to us as individuals, to us as a collective? What does it mean? Where are we going? Where are we going? And those, my plea to those who have said they want to be leaders, we have the powers to stop what is going on. We have the powers to incite violence. And if we incite violence, you can be sure violence is what we'll get. We incite violence, we plant violence, that's exactly what we will see. We as leaders, we have to be responsible. We as leaders, we have to know what we are doing. We shouldn't play with people's lives like this. How many of us remember this song, Ichekomborerai Africa? Isu mhuri yayo, isu vana veAfrica, Nkosi siyeleli Africa. By the way, the song that I'm playing is a version of SDSM choir singing Nkosi Sikeleli Africa. No. I'm going to play this song once again. Please listen to it. Let's take a moment. Let's just take a moment of silence. A moment to think about our African people. Let's just take a moment to think and reflect of what is happening. I know. Let's just take a moment to think about this. While at least we listen to this song, I will start it again. Hello once again. Let me reduce my volume now. Okay. So, mm, to the African leaders today, my plea is I, as an individual. Hello, dear. How are you, Adonis? If you African leaders, presidents, ministers, you name it, African leaders, all of you, if you don't know what to do with the office that you have taken, that you are going to serve your people, you whether as a nation, whether our countries. If you don't know what the job post is, please get out of the offices. Resign and let those who know what should be done in those offices move in. That's the first one. And to us of Africa, wherever we are in the world, we can make shift, we can change. Yes, I am quite aware that slavery happened. I am quite aware that the brain of a white man was brainwashed. I know that. I know that we were taught to hate each other and we continue to do that. I am aware of that. But till when are we going to continue saying we were taught to hate, so we hate each other? Till when are we going to teach our children to hate because we were taught to hate each other? Till when are we going to cry that, we were colonized and our brains were colonized? At the same time, we are saying we are independent. At the same we are saying the world Africa is ours. At the same time, we are saying, our African wealth is ours. Where are we going? Till when are we going to cry foul? Till when are we going to continue the blame game? Till when are we going to sit and watch Africans killing Africans? Till when are we going to sit and watch African women being taken clothes off? Till when are we going to sit and watch our baby girls being stolen by some bandits in the name of we are fighting what is ours? We are taking the girl child so that we can teach them. And we, the mothers and the fathers, are sitting in our house. Only those families who have lost a child know the pain and they will be crying for the loss of their child because there is no return. While we, everybody else in the nation, we are sending our condolences and not doing anything. Year in, year out, Africans, we are crying. Till when? If those people who are taking our wealth, our African wealth, are using policies to do that, why don't we all sit down with our smart heads and reverse those policies? If 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 how do they call them? Those arrangements that were done are unfavorable for us Africans, that we end up seeing it's better to kill each other than face the main problem that we have. If that's what it takes, that we kill each other and not face the giant because we feel we are so small, then we are done. We might as well tell our children, you know what, children, we are done, we are useless. Like I said, I don't care what nationality you are. I'm born Zimbabwe, right? I'm not living in Zimbabwe at the moment. Zimbabwe will always be my home. Circumstances forced me out for me to go and find a new home somewhere else. But doesn't mean that I don't know what being an African is. Besides, in these countries where we have all run to search our new homes, how many times are we reminded that we are not we don't belong? So we don't belong here and we don't belong in our African home. So where do we belong? It's high time we stand our ground. It's high time we Africans think, use these brains. God gave us brains. We say we've got brains in our heads. It's high time we use these brains in our heads to change the systems to make them favorable for us. Yes, I know it won't be a walkover. I know it's not as easy as it is said, but we have to start somewhere. Let this be the last time ever that we Africans are seen killing each other. Like I said, while we are mourning those who have died, or those who have been killed, or who have been injured, are being nursed in the same town, in the same country, there is a prestigious meeting with all you can think of, all the armed forces protecting them presidents. Yet your own people are dying on the streets like flies. And we say we are Africans. We have the independence. We are ruling ourselves. In the same country where the presidents of the or the leaders of the world, I'm talking world leaders, except for a few African leaders who have pulled out of because of protest. A big thank you to those who pulled out. Examples of Rwanda, there were three of them by last morning. Let me say, there were three of them who pulled out. A big thank you to that. That's what don't support a system that is like putting you in the corner. If I Google this, I will show you, I can tell you which countries pulled out. That's leadership, that's responsibility, that's accountability. To say, I'm not going to be part of this. Look, Zimbabwe was beating each other there in Zimbabwe. And they were given sanctions because they were gross human rights misconducts, violations. What are we seeing here? So these ones who just died, are they not people? Oh, there are just 5 of them who died. So there is just 5 is just a number, collateral damage. Is that what we are saying? What picture? What are we saying as Africans? What are we doing? We as Africans, each one of us, ask yourself where you are sitting now. Whatever you are drinking in your house, in the comfort of wherever you are. Think, what is it that you are doing? What part have you played today to change this situation? To make sure it will never happen again. To make sure this is the last time we ever see this. African lives don't matter. Because if African lives did matter, they would have done something. Because the world leaders are in Africa as we are talking, in Cape Town as we are talking now. They have gathered for a prestigious World Economic Forum in the African country, where half of the 3/4 of the population, they are swimming in poverty. They are killing their brothers because of this poverty. They are killing their brothers who are trying to make a living because they are taking their jobs. They are killing their brothers because of the illegal jobs that are being done. They are killing their brothers because they are retaliating because somebody else, they one of their own, by another foreign on their own in their own home. Yes, you get beaten in your home, you defend yourself. We all know that it doesn't. That's common sense. Somebody fights you in your home, you take whatever you need to fight back. Maybe the South Africans are defending themselves. We as Africans, what are we doing? Collectively, what are we doing? Did we ever sit down and think why? Honestly, why is the Africa why is Africa not united? Yet we have the United America. Yet we have the United. Yet we have a United. Yet we have a United European Union. Did we ever sit down and think why do we have that? Did we ever sit down and think why is that working and the African is not working? What are we doing, we Africans? Let's think. Meenda mani. Kan enda. Close my door, man. We Africans are busy and very good at blaming each other. Oh, this is like this because this one did this. This one is like this because this one did this. Yes, we are looting our funds. Yes, we are abusing our funds. Yes, we are abusing our systems. Yes, most of these systems, they are a legacy of those the colonial powers who left them. And some of these colonial powers are still benefiting from the system. And yes, they will not live just like that. But that's why we are saying we are now also educated. We have people who are writing books on economic and economics. We have people who are writing books on how to do good governance. We have people who are big strategists in the things of world economy. Who has the money, has the say. Where are our African people with all that knowledge? Why don't we team up and make sure this time this African Union this African oneness will be one. And we won't let anybody divide us again, ever again. Let's sorry, let this what has happened in South Africa be the last time. Because this is just a little flame that is just starting. Imagine what will happen. Imagine the impact of it. We have South Africans everywhere in Africa. If what is happening in South Africa now is started happening in Nigeria, that's happening in all the other African countries, what will happen? Can you imagine? What chaos will happen? Yes, the world powers, they are making those weapons. Yes, they do. They might not sell the weapons they themselves and come to the market and sell the weapons. Yes, but my problem is with the African who is buying that gun and bringing that ammunition to his own friend, to his own neighbor. My problem is with us Africans who are using those weapons to kill each other on our African soil. Even if we start killing each other outside Africa, I've got a problem with that. Because we are Africans, we are supposed to love each other. We are supposed to be brothers and sisters. So, what are we doing? Because somebody created a weapon that this person cannot even test in their own countries, because that's how banned that product is in their own countries. And they say, Africans, here you can have this. And we take that and we use them against ourselves. Did we ever stop to think, we Africans, that we are talking donations coming to build Africa? Why is Africa still in the mud? On the other side, we have all these resources that most of these European countries or Western countries don't have. Why are we still suffering? Why? So my challenge, I'll round up for today. Sorry, I changed my topic. I'll come back on the communication topic next time. My challenge to every African today onwards, be active. Be active in your own country. Be active in your own country. Like I said, I don't care what political party you are going to join. As long as you do, you know what? Countries are ruled by policies. You don't have policies in order, then you don't have anything. You don't know what policies work in your country, then you cannot do anything. They will do what they want on your head. They will say run, and you will run. You won't even ask where am I going, you will just run. You won't even ask what am I chasing, you will just run. You won't even ask why am I beating, you will just run. Because a few people have you in their hands, they will be like pulling you left, right, and center, and you'll just be dancing to their tune because you are not involved, because you don't know what's happening. Every country that is claiming to have democracy, they've got a constitution. Take that constitution and read and see what does it say. Challenge those leaders if they are useless. Join political parties. I don't, like I said, I don't care which political party you're going to join or join. There is nothing like things will change by themselves. Those who are benefiting from the system, they will not they will not change. They will continue. Instead of you sitting and mourning and crying, move, take action. You want to go to MDC, go and join MDC. That is if you're coming from Zimbabwe. You want to join ZANU, go and join ZANU. You want to join all these 23 parties that campaigned for the thing here, for the Zimbabwean election, the last election. Go and join any of them. Get their constitution and see what did they write, what programs do they have, and challenge your leaders using those policies. If nothing is happening, don't just sit. Don't just sit because we are ignorant. That's why things like this, what is happening in South Africa, is happening. We people are ignorant. Of course, I understand that there is a bigger issue going on. I understand that. I do understand that. But as long as we are not united, who we are, we cannot fight it. Let's be responsible people. Let's be a responsible continent. Let's take our lives back. Let's claim what is ours back in a civilized way. For ourselves, for our children, for the generations to come. For the generations to come. Let's stop this brutalizing each other. Let's stop. Let's just stop. Enough is enough. Every life, every African matter on African soil or outside African soil. I don't care where people are. As long as they are Africans, they matter. No system should be able to torment them. Of course, some people may think I'm just talking. I've had the chance to represent people who have come looking for asylum. So I know what I'm talking about. I've seen pictures of people drowning, being fished out of the oceans in the name we are going to try a better life out there. I've seen people who are working like donkeys. They don't sleep. And without papers. I've seen them. I know some. And they work here in the diaspora. People are doing it. And you know what? At the end of the day, most of them have got nothing. You know why? Because they work putting their monies in other people's accounts. And those whose accounts are being used, they know that these people who are putting monies in their account, they've got no right. So they do whatever they want. And there is no way these people can go and complain. They ran away from home to seek better pastures. They ran away to come and find a better life with their children. They are suffering. I know people who have been overseas here more than 10 years, more than 15 years without legal papers. And the chances are they will not get those legal papers. They can't go home. They can't move forward here. They are trapped. Why? Because our African leaders are messing up our continent. Our African leaders, they're messing up the so-called home. Africans, let's wake up. Let's change. Change starts with us. We have to know who we are. We have to be able to stand. Let's make this situation the last we will ever see of this on any African soil. Because we are starting to think for ourselves, to think like people who've got brains in our head. Let this be the last time that anything like this ever happens. And leaders who don't know anything what they're doing to just get out. If they don't get out freely, then use the systems to test them out. And put systems in place that will favor you. So that you don't have to come out here in Europe try and make ends meet and end up stranded, so that you don't have to bring your children out of your own homeland to make your children destitute. Unbearable. I've had people spit in my face just because I am in the wrong country. I'm in the wrong continent. Tell me about it. I know what it feels to be told you are not wanted here. I've lived with it. I'll leave you with this. Every life matter. African or not African, every life matter. And like I said, my message is for you African person who's listening to me. Wake up, stand on your feet, dust, shake that dirty out of you and start walking. You see a brother on the ground, help the brother out, help the sister up. We are one people, Africans. You come here, we are all suffering. I will leave a question for Zimbabweans who are busy beating each other. I don't like Ndebeles, I don't like Shonas. In South Africa, are they sparing you because some is Ndebele or some is Shona are being beaten up? That's what it means being far away from home. We have our own home. Let's fix our homes. This applies to Zambians, this applies to Namibians, Swanas, Angolans, Cameroonians, Nigerians, Kenyans, Tanzanians, Mozambicans. It applies to all Africans. Let's clean our homes. Let's sweep and make sure we have systems that favor us so that we never have to cry again. So that we never have to lose any of our beloved ones on because of like they went to look for foreign for better life. Let living Africa be a choice because you want to go on luxury, not a thing of life and death. Let's live in Africa be a choice on holiday, not a thing of I'm trying to just to get go and get bread. Oh, cry, my beloved Africa. Enough is enough. God bless Africa. Thank you so much.